Are we catching it? Oh, there I go. There we are. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The Boucher campus, the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine. Thanks to you all for joining us today as we celebrate the convocation of our Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine graduates. I'm Dr. Vargo, and I'll be your MC this morning. Everyone, please rise for the processional as we welcome our graduates into the auditorium. After they all enter, please remain standing for the national anthem. So I'd like to invite Ahmad Abouzant to the stage. And now Hannah Bartol. Melissa Bedford. Ashley Bilodeau. Garrett Bramall. Teresa Cam. Paulina Domzal. Bita Khosravian. Sherry Ko. Michaela Milne. Grace Nee. Simone O'Sheehan. Whitney Qualley is graduating with this class, but she can't join us today. Katarzyna Podolska. Ekam Romana. Angie Romero. And finally, Tanel Westgard. everyone please, oh, I'll let you apply. Please remain standing and join Miss Crema in singing your national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see the rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
I thank Miss Laura Crema for the national anthem and Miss Sharon Minamoto for the wonderful music that you'll be hearing and have already heard throughout the ceremony. Before we begin, the Boucher campus of the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine recognizes that we are located in unceded Central Coast Salish territory. We wish to express our gratitude to the Kwikwite and the Musqueam First Nations who have ties to this territory. We wish to acknowledge the unceded territory of all Central Coast Salish peoples on whose traditional unceded territories we live, learn, and do our work. So everybody can resume their seats. I almost forgot about that part. Get to be a long ceremony if I didn't do that. Let them sit. Once again, hello and welcome. I'm Dr. Andrew Vargo, and I'm honored to be your Master of Ceremonies this morning. I'm not sure I've mastered this particular ceremony yet, but I think I'm getting better. Graduating classes have been inviting me to this particular time slot at the podium for the last little while. Kind of mystifies me that the invitations keep coming. Maybe I get invited because anything requiring decorum or tact or a tie is a little bit challenge, and it's their turn to challenge me because I've challenged them at Boucher, at least for their first few years. I'm the chair of the biomedical program, and I help teach a number of other classes. They see a lot of me in their first 3 years. I put them through constant quizzes. Boucher, a quiz is a word for a midterm. We'll usually give them, just twice a week, it's fine. It will give them a bunch of final exams. It's in addition to the interminable hours they have to listen to this. About 4.5 hours a week, easy, that they've been listening to me for about 3 years. It's biomedical stuff that they're listening to. It's 50% Latin or Greek, 50% biomedical technology jargon, 90% boring, 50% to 90% clinically relevant. We don't tell them how much at any given day. So it's super fun. Maybe it's a type of Stockholm syndrome. We spend a lot of time together, some of it cognitively painful, so that might be part of it. That could be why they invite me, but that's not why I accept. I keep accepting because they challenge me, and they don't know this yet. Well, actually, they probably do know this. Pretend they don't know this. But in their last year or so, they do challenge me for a lot longer than they know. As these grads develop competency in practicing the art and science of naturopathic medicine, and they do get good before they get out. They leave behind the fundamentals and the basics. That's my realm. Fundamentals and the basics, the textbook stuff, that's my comfort zone. They leave that behind and they do good things for patients for some time before this ceremony happens. They do it in the various clinics associated with Boucher. They will come and ask me questions sometimes about the quandaries that patients present them with. Though I might sometimes have something vaguely intelligent to say about the odd head scratcher, I almost never have the full answer. Then often these third years and fourth years, and these guys are done fourth year, they'll come and tell me how they approached that quandary, what worked and what didn't, and in the process, they'll teach me a thing or two. So if you've ever taught, you know how rewarding and humbling that experience is. That's why I'm pleased to be here today and at the College of General. So before we get started, we've got a few housekeeping items. I need to let you all know that we have invested in the Anvil Center Hook cell phone program. So what this is your cell phone goes off during the ceremony or a notification or something like that. They have a hook mounted up there. You can't see it. And it's going to come down and grab you. And I think it moves you around the area of the key, and I think it'll put you down on land, but it might put you in water. I don't know which. They'll do that fairly immediately. The exception is if your ringtone is Alice Cooper's School's Out, it'll let it play the first few bars. Then it will just do that anyway. One of the other things I'd like to remind you is that we need to wear masks at all times for COVID precautions. Grads, as you come up to accept the diplomas, what you can do, and I'll remind you of this before it's time to accept the diplomas, wear the mask, come up just before receiving the diploma and get your picture taken. You can take the mask off and put it on again when you go back to your seats. So it's time to introduce the first graduation speaker. I'd like to introduce Dr. Bob Bernhardt. So Dr. Bernhardt is the president of the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, both Boucher and Toronto campuses, and he's served that role since 2004. He has an impressive academic leadership background spanning science, information systems, administrative law, and of course, naturopathic medicine. He led the creation of new post-secondary education departments overseas, consulted on teacher education programs in the Middle East, and served as the president of the International Association of Accredited Naturopathic Medical Colleges, the AANMC. At CCNM, he is responsible for ensuring the college delivers high-quality naturopathic medical education and clinical care. He's key to advancing groundbreaking research, and he promotes the college as well as the naturopathic profession. So, Dr. Bernhardt, if you could come on up to the lectern.
Thank you, Dr. Vargo, and my articulation is not nearly as good as his is, so that's why I have my mask off for the time that I'm speaking. So welcome to today's convocation of the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, Boucher campus, class 21A. On behalf of the entire CCNM Boucher community, I extend our heartfelt congratulations to the graduates, their partners, parents, and children, indeed to the entire support network that has allowed each graduate to attain the success that we are here to celebrate today. As the name Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine Boucher campus implies, Boucher is now part of a pan-Canadian institution that runs the largest and, in my view, the best naturopathic doctorate program in North America. Our research presence is highly respected worldwide. As one example of this, the CCNM study published in the Canadian Medical Association Journal demonstrating the reduction of cardiovascular risk factors through the adjunctive use of naturopathic medicine has been referenced in legislatures across North America in support of regulation and expanded scope for naturopathic doctors. Now, towards the end of today's ceremony, you'll witness the graduates reciting the naturopathic oath. They'll be dedicating themselves to the service of humanity and to preserve the health of our planet for future generations. Wow. That's a pretty daunting commitment. And given where we are today, it involves the promotion of health in an ever-changing world. So how does one drive change that will preserve the health of our planet for future generations? Well, first, it requires belief. The tenets and practices of naturopathic medicine acquired by today's graduates possess the power to profoundly change the health of individuals. I ask the graduates to remain confident or acquire confidence in their ability to do so. As was mentioned, I used to be involved with law, and I was responsible for the bar admission process in Ontario. And when somebody's actually admitted to the bar, it's actually a court ceremony. And I remember the then Chief Justice, Roy McMurtry, speaking at one ceremony, said to the students, he said, I remember when I actually got called to the bar. He said, I was so proud, and then I went back to my office, and I took off my gown, and I hung it up, and I sat behind my desk, and they brought in my first real client. And I started to listen to that client, and I thought, whoa, this person has a lot of problems. Somebody should help them. And then I had that terrifying realization that someone was me. So I'm sure as you start your practices, you will have your first few patients who come in, And you may have that feeling as well. But remember, you've already had a dramatic amount of success, and I think you'll find that will hold you well for the future. So why should graduates have this confidence in naturopathic medicine? Well, I'm not an ND, but in my role as president, I've been the recipient of repeated testimonials from patients whose health has been dramatically improved by the work of student interns and supervisors. One of the closest examples to my heart is my mother-in-law. Now, about 15 years ago, we could sell 5-visit packages for our clinic. So my mother-in-law had never been into the student clinic in Toronto at CCNM. So I gave her this 5-visit package for Christmas. And because I was her favorite son-in-law, okay, the only one, but she still really liked me. And so she said she would come to the clinic. So that was good. I was going to set her up with the best intern and the best supervisor. But before I could do anything, she called the clinic on her own, randomly got an intern, supervisor, and was preparing for her visit. She spoke to her doctor of 40 years and said, I'm coming to the naturopathic college to see the supervisor there and the intern. He said, I don't know why you'd waste your time doing that. It will be of no good at all. So why did I want her to go there? Well, she had chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and she would have had real trouble walking from here to the first set of chairs that are there. So it was destroying her enjoyment of life. Well, she went to the clinic, and within 4 to 6 weeks, she was dramatically better. She did go back to her regular doctor, and he said, well, I don't know what they're doing, but tell them to continue. Well, sure enough, they did continue. And after about 6 to 8 weeks, my daughters would start taking her out to bowling, to go to movies, and so on. And she moved freely and happily. And what was really impressive was it brought back her joie de vivre in terms of her belief in what life could be and was. And so she had another 7 wonderful years after that, full of life, until she passed away sitting in a chair with her arm on her, or her head on her arm. So you can have an incredible impact, perhaps more than you'll ever know when you're working with some of the patients. Now, graduates should also draw confidence, not just from the areas where naturopathic medicine has been strong, but where it's expanding and having an impact. In Toronto, CCNM operates the Integrative Cancer Centre and the Patterson Institute for Integrative Oncology Research. We are seeing these institutions driving greater awareness among oncologists and hospitals of the value and nature of integrative cancer care involving naturopathic medicine. In Ottawa, we've launched a study examining the impact of a botanical treatment in reducing the severity and frequency of long-term COVID effects for those who have COVID. My background's in education, and I can attest that in my over 40 years in post-secondary education, I've never worked with a more enjoyable group of students than those in our ND program. They are bright, socially concerned, environmentally conscious, and just plain nice. So the graduates who are down before you are not only beginning their careers as naturopathic doctors, they're committed to fostering a healthier future for their patients and for the planet, particularly as we sit in the throes of the worst pandemic in over a century. The world has never been in a more desperate need of their guidance. Yes, CCNM, its partners, students, and graduates are in the midst of driving fundamental change in healthcare. And I know of no other set of medical practitioners who are so well positioned to do so. These graduates have the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to fundamentally improve the lives of their patients and the future of our planet. On behalf of today's graduates, I want to say a special thank you to the faculty and staff of Boucher. These are the individuals who have made such a difference in the lives of our students. Congratulations, class of 21A. The faculty and staff are delighted to have had the opportunity to know you. They are very proud of you. And we believe that you hold the potential to profoundly change the future of not just healthcare, but of our precious planet. Congratulations.
I'll now introduce our second graduation speaker, Dr. Corinne Fairman-Young. She's affectionately, very affectionately known as Dr. KFY. The last time you'll hear Dr. Corinne Fairman-Young, we all know what we're talking about. Dr. KFY. So Dr. KFY is the Chief Medical Officer and Associate Dean of Clinical Studies for the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine Boucher campus and its teaching clinics. She graduated from CCNM in 2004 and has been working in the teaching clinic at CCNM Boucher campus since 2008. Her previous background in kinesiology and sports massage adds a strong physical medicine component to patient care. Dr. KFY supervises third and fourth year clinicians, and she is always offering her insight to patient care and empowering patients to reach their full health potential. Dr. KFY, if you could.
Isn't it wonderful that you can be here in person, masked and all, but still here in person, celebrating the heart and success of these graduates. Well, wasn't this a very adventurous uphill climb for you? But here we are. Each step you've taken, it's been our honor. I'm here for the clinic, obviously, to walk with you, to guide you and support your growth and sharing your journey towards this transformation into primary care physician. Every sign-off, about 300 of them, every case summary, they're done, 450 patient contacts at least, 100 preceptor hours, and 1,100 clinical hours. Some of you maybe even did 1,101 just to be sure you were done. Every hour that you diligently spent in the clinic, yes, even those dreaded chart audits, have enriched your knowledge. They've honed your skills and prepared you for this day. You've learned applied science, diagnostics, critical thinking. You've learned the therapeutic order and the application of naturopathic therapies. You've learned how crucial it is to search for the cause of disease and to know the person who has the disease. You've learned that there's always more to learn. Today, we confidently send you forward to continue your journey into the world as doctors of naturopathic medicine. Your new journey will require you to have strength and integrity as you become the doctor that you are meant to be. The road's not wide and straight. It will narrow and be bumpy. It will take curves. You've seen some. You could see some of them coming. You won't always know what's around the corner. But all the best stories do have curves and strange things that happen. And this is your story to write and to accomplish what you've envisioned. And you don't even need another doctor's signature. You get to do it. We welcome you as colleagues into the community of naturopathic doctors across BC, Canada, and the world. We grow as a community as colleagues, encouraging and supporting each other. We, as your community, have a responsibility to you to continue to facilitate learning and mentoring. You also have a responsibility to our community to be curious, to continue to expand and deepen your understanding, always striving to understand the human body and the mysteries yet to be discovered. You ought to be courageous, taking the first step, even if you don't know where it will take you. Use the strength of your voice, explore and be open to new and challenging ideas. And be your bravest self, taking on the challenges that the world offers, even when you face criticism from fear and lack of acceptance from our conventional thinkers. To act with integrity, be honorable to yourself, and be true to our medicine, helping it continue to grow and flourish. With every year of practice, better than the year before. Learn from your colleagues, your mentors, and also from your missteps. Be forgiving towards yourselves and your colleagues, both naturopathic and allopathic. Healthcare is not a competition, surprisingly, but rather a soulful desire to help other people. Keep the principles of naturopathic medicine as your guide. They are They are your roots and foundation and will always provide stable ground. Above all, Listen to your patients. They are the starting point to great care, knowing that the gift of helping another individual is the greatest gift of all. Honor always that you are helping humanity and our planet one person at a time. On behalf of the entire clinic team, congratulations to you all. Also my honor to introduce the guest speaker for today, Dr. Andrew Vargo. Dr. Vargo earned his medical degree from the University of Saskatchewan and honed his clinical knowledge while attending patients as an intern and a resident physician. He left medicine to pursue a career in the pharmaceutical industry as a scientific liaison and there discovered a passion for education and research. He has taught a wide range of disciplines, including nursing, massage therapy, university and naturopathic medical students, and designed educational programs for primary care and specialist physicians. Dr. Vargo is committed to guiding students to become better, critical thinkers and more proficient clinicians by clarifying the science of the human body in health and disease. Dr. Vargo goes above and beyond for his students and takes immense pride in their success. Dr. Vargo.
Thank you, Dr. KFY. So postgraduating classes, they have a guest speaker come up, and the guest speaker usually offers a bunch of deeply meaningful clinical pearls for the new grads as they embark on their successful and profitable career and helpful career as naturopathic doctors. The clinical pearls are, of course, based on years of experience as successful practitioners and/or talented clinical teachers that have supervised many student-patient encounters. I can do that. I'm a teacher, right? You know, those who can do and those who can't teach, and those who can't teach, I don't know, they stop at that. They stop after that. So these students are, that by the way is my target. If I make a joke and everybody laughs at it, it's too easy. It's way too easy. That's how I design my exams, how I design my jokes. That's how it works. They're kind of beyond me now, which is, it really amazes me that they called me here to the podium, and I am deeply honored. They're finished with multiple choice and oral exams. They've done so many of them. I've had to mark so many of them, and those are all behind them now. So what do I have to offer? I mean, I don't practice, but there's the basics. Here's what I can give you. You got somebody with acute abdominal. You have to go to the books to help you form that acute abdominal pain differential. Make sure the appendix hasn't been removed. You can't fill up a full differential if that appendix has been removed. Thank you, Ahmad. Perfect. Okay. I may not exhibit complete mastery of the MC role, but I do have a black belt in dad jokes. This brings us to the comfort zones. I mentioned comfort zones before. I've always been within a comfort zone. I've done benchside physiology research as part of being my master's and as a medical scientific liaison in the pharmaceutical industries. Why was that comfortable? I had billions, probably, of PhD and MD work hours, trillions of dollars, and thousands of articles to back me up and support what I had to say. Lots of experiments, lots of trials when I was in that role. And talking about that knowledge was sitting on this very firm and somewhat dry and boring foundation. When I was in medical school, I had textbooks. We didn't really go to journal articles that often. And we had algorithms, so many algorithms. Those of you that are not in the medical field, an algorithm is when a bunch of doctors get together and they tell you as a general practitioner what to do and how to think. It's reassuring, it's comforting. These guys don't have algorithms, not many. Teaching the biomedical sciences, I have it all. I have algorithms, journal articles, textbooks, piece of cake. Comfortable, very comfortable for me. PubMed has my back. So naturopathic medicine is entering an area that is exciting, and it's new and painful and frightening and reassuring. Did I mention new? It's very new. It's the area of evidence-informed practice. Okay? This profession is establishing that comfort area, having a better idea of what exactly is going to happen when you do something for a patient, but it's so, so new. And so what do? Where's your comfort zone? You guys don't have a bunch of algorithms. You guys have textbooks, but you're learning to look at some of those textbooks critically, and you think, you know what? Some of the things I'm going to keep, and some of the things I might have to toss out. And meanwhile, you're like, oh yeah, there's all the reading, and there's the student loans, and then there's the networking, and then there's the social media, and then there's the making sure that the student loans. It's a massive undertaking to do, to sort this information, to categorize it, okay? Less laughter from them now, hey? Yeah. So I think what they wanted from me, Dr. Vargo, is a speech on balance, because I've always exhibited balance for them at all times, I think. Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to tell you is what I've seen in the physicians that I truly admired. Professors in my old medical school, some naturopathic practitioners I've gotten fond of, even some students start to exemplify it relatively early. This is what I see. Always be a student, okay? Not all the time, though. You guys have a habit where you're students pretty much 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 to 7 days a week. There's that MPLEX thing you guys do, then there's BC boards, there's the farm exam, and some of you guys like, don't remind me about the farm exam, you jerk, right? So there's the exam upon exam upon exam. You guys have been students forever, right? And you guys already know, being a student's not sustainable. I'm gonna turn my brain off, okay? No, make it a habit, a sustainable, comfortable, somewhat enjoyable habit. Do it all the time. My best family medicine internships and residencies were with physicians that were very good at that. They saw I had a busy patient load. They'd read just enough to keep up their families, and they were happy students, right? Question many things, but not everything. Identify the things that we call in education evergreen. Stuff that just ain't gonna change unless some massive breakthrough information comes through, and that doesn't happen very often. Leave the evergreen stuff alone. Understand things from the context of the evergreen stuff. It's like a mnemonic. It helps you understand things. And granted, you're like, how am I ever gonna take those biochemistry lectures and turn that into something I can use to predict and predict a patient effect? It's all, sometimes you can't, but sometimes it can help you remember stuff that's really, really useful. So find the evergreen stuff. Don't waste your time questioning it. Find the other stuff that's new and you're like, is this too good to be true? Spend your time looking at that, but again, a sustainable amount of time. That's when I've seen strong teaching physicians, happy teaching physicians. That's what they tended to do. That's what they tended to do. The last thing I'll say, and this kind of comes from my pharmaceutical industry background, and as well from just looking at research in general. You can call this a number of things. You could call it measure an outcome objectively. You could call it listen to a patient, don't lead them. So whenever you help someone out, and I think it's important to emphasize this because this is an error that's made very, very often. I haven't made this error that often because I don't practice that often. I don't really practice at all, but I've seen people do it. Always double check to make sure you're helping out that patient like you want to help them out, and that you're helping out that patient like they want you to help them out. And it's an easy double check to do. Very simple one to do. And the physicians I've seen that do this sort of stuff, they seem to be happy, and I've always been impressed by them. So you've always been students. Your job now is to find a way to enjoy it. And there's a lot of cool student things that you can learn now beyond biomedicine. You need a break from biomedicine and bot med and nutrition. Learn how to sell. Sales is a handy thing. Sales is effective communication, right? Make sure you enjoy continuing to be a student. Like me. It's been an honor, you guys. Good luck. Thank you, Dr. Vargo. Welcome, Dr. Vargo. All right, we've now come to the most exciting part of the afternoon, the conferral of the doctoral diplomas. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read each person's name, and that person will come up. And again, as you come up, you can briefly remove your mask, take a picture as you grab your diploma, mask back, and have a seat again. Dr. Bernhardt, thank you very much. You anticipated me. It's so good. Will please approach the stage and prepare for the administration of diplomas. Okay. So, Dr. Ahmad Abuzan. Dr. Hannah Bartol. Dr. Melissa Bedford. Dr. Ashley Bilodeau. Dr. Garrett Bramall. Dr. Teresa Cam. Dr. Paulina Domzal. Dr. Peter Kosravian. Dr. Cherie Coe. Dr. Michaela Mill. Dr. Grace Neath. Dr. Simone O'Sheehan. Dr. Simone Qualley won't be joining us today, but she's graduating with her colleagues and friends. Dr. Katarzyna Podolska. Dr. Ekam Ramana. Dr. Angie Romero. And Dr. Tanel Westgard. Thank you very much, Dr. Bernhardt. And please join me in applauding the winter 2021 the spring 2021 graduates of CCM Boucher, Doctor of Naturopathic Medicine program. Very pleased now to invite Dr. Tanel Westgard to give a message on behalf of the graduating class of spring 2021.
Thanks, Dr. Vargo. Hi, everyone. I feel very grateful that I get to deliver this speech today from our graduating class. Thank you for being here with us today. It means a lot more than you know. 21As, we finally made it. It's incredibly difficult to summarize, paraphrase, and reflect on what the last 4 years have been like mentally, emotionally, and physically. I felt like the easiest way to start was with the objectives. 4 years, 12 semesters, 95 courses, 180 plus exams, 11 in 1 week, I must add, 420 at least biomed quizzes, and 1,100 clinic hours. And a global pandemic later, we finally made it. Those numbers may surprise some of you, but we had a full spreadsheet to remind us. Now, let's move away from numbers and on to more subjective things. I remember the very first day we all met. Eager and excited with zero idea what we were getting ourselves into, we entered the Columbia Street SkyTrain station. We sat in a circle and introduced ourselves with adjectives before our names. Whimsical Whitney, elegant Akam, happy Hannah, great Garrett, assertive Ahmad, truthful Teresa, magnificent Melissa, graceful or grateful Grace, agile Ashley, cool Kat, balanced Beta, mindful Michaela, passionate Paulina, active Angie, compassionate Cherie, silly Simone, and talkative Tanel. I remember at the time not understanding why they brought in 3 counselors for the first 2 days of school. That should have been our first clue, but looking back now, it makes pretty good sense. 2 particularly important themes were brought up in the first 2 days. Firstly, that the next 4 years were going to be extremely tough. They were going to push us to our limits, build and break relationships, and evolve us as people. They did all of that and more. Secondly, to take a look around because these people were going to become our family, and they did just that. It was that first year we all really got to know one another. I know I'm biased, but I do believe that our cohort was a match made in heaven. From Ahmad making sure we were all well fed and caffeinated, to Whitney asking the questions we all wanted to but were too lazy to, Michaela's ability to be the youngest yet by far most mature class mom, Garrett doing his best to make sure masculine energy was still present in a room full of women, Simone for breaking records for missed attendance calls, Teresa supporting the in-class online shopping sprees, and Grace's study notes that saved many of us from sleepless nights. Every single person brought something unique and extraordinary to the group. I think a lot of us look back on second year and try to numb it out. We had lost that naive first year eagerness and now realized we had 3 whole years left. Every morning was filled with caffeine and unicorn notes, while every evening was also filled with caffeine or wine and unicorn oats. Biomed quizzes became more and more difficult, and our patients started to dwindle. I think second year provided us with more adversity and perseverance than we knew possible at the time. We relied on each other to get us through, because that's what family's for. Second year did end with a bang, though. We did our cadaver lab in Portland, which was an unforgettable experience, followed by our first NPLEX examination, an incredible feat. Third year provided us with a new chapter, becoming secondaries in the clinic, back when taking someone's blood pressure made us embarrassingly shaky. This was when our skills as a clinician began to grow and our interests were sparked. We got to know the many remarkable supervisors and clinics that were a part of our Boucher community. We also had a lot more free time now without biomed, but what we did with it, none of us will really remember. Then March of 2020 hit, and I vividly remember us having a conversation about how much we could really use a 2-week hiatus from home. And as you can now guess, we spent the rest of our third year from home. Many new pets, engagement rings, and homes later, we entered our fourth year. Fourth and final year. This meant we were now primaries and solely responsible for our patients' care. This included freedom, autonomy, and a whole lot of responsibility. It forced us into discomfort in the best way possible. Discomfort that allowed for us to challenge ourselves and push ourselves into new comfort zones. Throughout the year, our supervisors got to watch us become confident in what we knew, but also realize there was an infinite amount more to learn. That's the great thing about this profession. The learning and growing never stops. These 4 years all brought us to this very important day. Although our convocation this year is later than expected, it couldn't be better timing. We get to celebrate our accomplishments after not only graduating from Boucher, but also completing NPLEX 2 and our board exams. This means we are actually all done. We did it, and I'm so unbelievably proud of all of us. To the team at, oh yeah. I feel like you guys get used to us saying we're done and we're never done, so now we're actually done. To the team at Boucher, including staff, teachers, TAs, supervisors, and more, thank you for all that you have done to get us to this point. To the biomedicine department, as much as we complain, we know that Boucher is the school that it is because of you guys, so thank you. To the clinic supervisors, thank you for inspiring and nurturing us. We can't wait to call you colleagues. To our family and friends, I don't think it's possible to express how much we appreciate you. We know as tough as this program was on us, it was also tough on you. I wish I had a PowerPoint to go along with my speech so I could show you a photo of Paulina and Michael crying together after her very last exam. Thank you for being our thank you for being our pretend patients to practice on and shoulders to cry on. Thank you for being our biggest supporters and loving us through this process. I think it's important for us to look back at how these last 4 years have allowed us to grow and evolve into the people we are today. It's important to recognize the sacrifices and struggles along the way. It's important to remember the tears, laughs, and love we all shared with one another. As we move on to this chapter as NDs, I know we will have a bond that continues to grow. I can't wait to see what we accomplish in this world, and the neat thing is, this is really just the beginning. So congrats to all my fellow classmates. I love you all very much.
Thank you, Dr. Westgard. It's now time to recognize the recipients of the Academic Excellence Awards, the Clinical Excellence Award, and the Spirit of Boucher CCNM Award. Dr. Heisel is going to give out the Academic Excellence Award, and we need to give a brief introduction to Dr. Heisel. Although her time and efforts at Boucher have been anything but brief. Dr. Heisel has been a part of the Boucher Institute since the first year it opened. She began as an instructor for the anatomy program and is now an indispensable part of our college as the Associate Dean of Academics. She has played an integral role in curriculum development at Boucher. She keeps us running smoothly as an Associate Dean and still finds time to teach in the biomedicine program. Her passion, enthusiasm, and kindness are an inspiration to us all. Dr. Heisel.
Thank you, Dr. Vargo,
and congratulations, all graduates. I'm very honored to be here today to present the Academic Excellence Award. This is to the graduating student who has achieved the highest overall average across the course of their studies at Boucher. So for us, this award is very easy to choose. We just add up all their grades. But for the student who earns this distinction, it means consistently excelling through 4 years of relentless and rigorous academic studies. The student I'm about to name was outstanding in all facets of the program. While conquering the unrelenting biomedicine quizzes and mastering the modalities, they were assessed by presentations, assignments, demonstration and practical skills, and of course, countless final exams. And through it all, this student rose to the top. With an average of 94%, it is my pleasure to present the Academic Excellence Award to Dr. Melissa Bedford. Congratulations, Melissa.
I'm really sweaty, so. I'd like to welcome Dr. KFY to come up and give out the Clinic Excellence Award, please.
All right. So this is for the Clinic Excellence Award. Students are evaluated based on their performance assessments, clinical exams, and clinical faculty also do nominations. The clinician with the highest marks receives the award, surprisingly. So the clinic faculty describe this person as thoroughly prepared, builds excellent rapport, work ethic like no other, compassionate and respectful, excellent, outstanding, and phenomenal. The recipient of this award has demonstrated not only exemplary clinical skills in diagnosis and critical thinking, they've also shown consistent integration of naturopathic principles, evidence-based medicine, and clear understanding of the therapeutic order. The recipient of the Clinical Excellence Award for our 21A cohort is Dr. Michaela Milne.
I'd like to invite Jeff Martineau to give out the Spirit of Boucher Award. Jeff is a current student at the Boucher campus of CCNM, and he is part of the Board of Governors. He's the student representative. Come on up, Jeff.
It's my honor and privilege to stand here today and share the stage with our newest graduates. Congratulations to everybody on your hard work and all of your accomplishments over the last 4 years. It's my pleasure to announce the recipient of the June 2021 Spirit of CCNM Boucher Award, which has been given out at convocation ever since Dr. Shelby Wartz received the award as a member of the first graduating class in 2004. The Spirit of CCNM Boucher Award recognizes and celebrates the outstanding accomplishments of a graduating student who best represents the ideals, principles, and values of the Canadian College of Naturopathic Medicine, Boucher campus. Nominations are solicited from the community, and award criteria is for a student who demonstrates outstanding leadership on campus and in the community, sustains positive rapport with students, faculty, staff, and patients, is actively involved in student life and the student association, demonstrates initiative and has exemplary attitude, and has the spirit and effort to inspire others to do their best. I'm very pleased to announce the winner is Dr. Garrett Brommel.
I'd like to now invite Dr. K.F. Webb to the lectern to lead all naturopathic physicians through the naturopathic oath. She'll read it one stanza at a time. Our new grads will have a copy of the oath right in front of them, so that after each stanza, they'll repeat after her. Dr. KFY.
Got the same one. I'm going to ask everybody who's a naturopathic doctor here to stand with me, please. Again, I'm going to read it line by line, so we'll go through it here. I dedicate myself to the service of humanity. As a practitioner of the art and science of naturopathic medicine. By precept, education, and example, I will assist and encourage others to strengthen their health, reduce risk for disease, and preserve the health of our planet for ourselves, our families, and our future. I will continually endeavor to improve my abilities. I will conduct my life and the practice of naturopathic medicine with integrity and freedom from prejudice. I will keep confidential what should not be divulged. I will honor the principles of naturopathic medicine. First, to do no harm, to cooperate with the healing powers of nature, to address the fundamental cause of disease, to heal the whole person through individualized treatment, to teach the principles of healthy living and preventative medicine, with my whole heart before this gathering of witnesses. As a doctor of naturopathic medicine, I pledge to remain true to this oath. Thank you.
It's been wonderful to share this milestone with all of you here in person and those of you watching online. I think it's time to bring it home. I'd like all of our new NDs to rise. I'd like everybody present, audience, everybody part of the theater, also to congratulate our newest ND graduating class of spring 2021. So you guys are free to exit through those doors there. And And for COVID sanitation practices, we can't spend too much time at the venue. So this concludes our afternoon. Thank you so much, everyone, for participation, and congratulations again.